All right, welcome into the Ryan Ripken Show. How we doing? Happy Thursday. Hope you are enjoying your day so far. And let us know where you're tuning in from. As always, we always appreciate where everyone's tuning in for the Ryan Ripken Show. So let's talk about at least what is on our docket for this show. Well, there's a lot of spicy topics in the MLB. I think the biggest one that we saw last night, the incident with Jorge Lopez being one of them. There's a knuckleball sensation down in AAA, perhaps. Oh, and then, by the way, somebody's leading baseball in all of WAR. We'll obviously dive into Orioles topics specifically going on. Our segment, Factor Crap. It's involving this case around, we talked last week about, or I guess not last week, on Tuesday, about Paul Skenes and Jackson Holliday over the number one prospect. It's not involving Jackson Holliday anymore. It's how much do you trust Paul Skenes? And it was a recent conversation that Jeff Passan had on the Pat McAfee show. We will talk some Ravens. There is a little bit of updates, at least we're going to touch on. And then I'm going to break down Cedric Mullins a little bit, guys, because I think people want to look at the box scores, but don't necessarily understand how close Cedric actually is and how it really just hasn't bounced his way over this past week. With that being said, let's talk about who is in studio with us today. Zach to the right.
Oh, you
messed it up so badly.
Oh my God, it's reversed. Wait,
this is your first episode, 001?
100. There we go, baby.
Turn it back around at 001.
So for those that want to understand this, and you know what, I'll give Zach a round of applause here.
Thank you.
Zach now has his 100th appearance
straight on
the Ryan Ripken Show. 100 straight.
Every live stream since episode 18. It's crazy. That was my first time, and then now we're here 100 later.
I'm glad I was there for your first time and your current time.
100th time. Thanks.
Wow,
appreciate it. Kevin, what are your stats?
Locked on Ravens tonight will be 1,260 consecutive.
Boom. Kevin's such a shit. Anyway, where's Brad? Because we got Brad working everything behind the scenes. There he is.
What's up, fellas?
How we doing?
Hey, listen, we didn't actually give my boy Dim some love yet, but shout out Dim, aka Dim Sweets, for the countdown music. He produced that himself. So shout out to my boy Dim for that. It's a pretty dope beat.
It is.
It really is. It really, really is.
He made a lot of them. When I made that, I picked. There were a couple that were in contention, but that one was the winner. So.
Oh, his library is insane, bro.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm gonna have to hit him up and we'll go to his studio. It's right there in Canton. It's
recording session.
Yes, I can get a diss track on Kevin.
What did I do to you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's got like a whole recording booth. With a mic and everything. You want to freestyle in there? Have at it.
I was not going to bring up any streak of mine until you asked me. I was going to let you have your moment.
No, it's no. You outshined me. I accept it. No, I accept it. No, like you. All right. I forgot because remember the first time we had Kevin on, Ryan butchered his streak.
Do you remember that?
You were like, yeah, Kevin has had like
100 episodes,
170 straight days with an episode on Locked on Ravens, and Kevin was like 1,100 straight days with an episode.
That's when I clapped for myself. No, that wasn't actually. That was when I was at my apartment.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm seeing a lot of people want to know the answer to this question.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about the elephant in the room here? And I'm sorry.
Context here?
Yeah. So sorry, Alan. Our tip off. Kevin did have a tip off of NBA Jam to start off. He lost to the computer behind.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So by one.
Dude, you were down by 2 possessions. You just hit a 3 at the buzzer.
Well. I still lost by 1.
Okay, let's talk about what this entails right now. What's being asked is, did Kevin find his stick? And then we'll get into our program, shall we? So here's the thing. We do the live shows, and that's headlined by our friends Zach and Kevin here. They do live post games after every Orioles game to talk about the game. And for some reason, Kevin was eating a corn dog last night, and he wanted to heat that puppy up in the oven or the microwave. Sorry, in the microwave. And apparently the corn dog had a stick on it going in, Kevin, and there wasn't a stick on it when you took it out.
It is still one of the bigger mysteries. I literally don't know. I took the glass plate, the spinny thing off the microwave to look, and it wasn't there. This is actually the second time in less than a week something like this has happened to me. Do you know those?
What was the other thing? Okay, what could be
no.
What's the other?
Do you know like Nutri-Grain bars?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought those and I opened one straight out of the packaging, literally sealed packaging, and it had a bite taken out of it. Literally, you could not mistake it. It was a bite. It had teeth marks, and it was fully packaged. And now I can't put a corn dog in the microwave properly, apparently. So I don't know what my deal is with food.
Okay, if that's a sealed bar, I would be writing a letter.
Yeah.
And a photo, well, Kevin. You're not like, oh, that's the new promotion right now.
I just threw it away. I mean, I didn't eat it.
I legitimately have tears coming out of my eyes. Can you imagine Kevin opening up the Nutri-Grain bar? He's like, wait, what the hell?
Yeah,
honestly, I can. After knowing Kevin this long, I can.
I don't know why my life is this way, but it is.
Well, we have so many questions.
Wait, Kevin, the real question is, did you?
No, I didn't know. I threw it away.
You didn't eat the corn dog?
No, I didn't eat the thing with the bite taken out of it.
Did you eat the corn dog?
I ate the corn dog. I had to eat it without the stick on it, though.
Did you take a picture of it?
Of the stick? No.
No, of the Nutri-Grain bar.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Kevin, okay, we're going to work on this. If something's not right, Kevin, this is just to let you know,
content 101.
You should get a picture.
Yeah.
No, not for content, Kevin. This is not about content.
That too.
That too. But it's about if something's wrong that you purchased, it's your receipt. Then it's like, hey, I didn't take this bite.
Yeah, a couple months ago there was a chicken that still had feathers in it. So, my life, I just don't do well at grocery stores.
Wait,
I've gotten chicken with feathers in them still.
Yeah, but this was like a lot. Yeah. I feel like that is more common.
Okay. Well, Kevin, again, hashtag where's Kevin's stick? We still don't know.
Okay.
And Kevin was playing that game all night long. So,
Jesus.
Let's move on, shall we? Here, let's move on into some topics. If you like if you are a fan of the show, hit that like and subscribe button. We do this typically every Monday, Thursday, and Sundays. And if you heard us talk about this, there's the live post games are every single Orioles game. But guys, I think the biggest topic, if we're going at least into this show around baseball, around kind of sports world in this case, is the situation that happened with Jorge Lopez on the New York Mets. And for those Oriole fans that remember Jorge Lopez, he was one of the fan favorites. You know, he reinvented himself in Baltimore, went from a starter to a reliever, and then became an all-star for the Baltimore Orioles, then was traded away. And he had a little bit of time with the team last year. But look, we're not sugarcoating this. The Mets season right now, it's a disaster in New York. But for Jorge Lopez, he was under a lot of fire because of the incident on the field. And I think we have a video of the incident on the field of him losing his composure. So if we're looking at this right now, it was a check swing call that Jorge Lopez wasn't happy with. That was the previous at bat by Ohtani, but Jorge Lopez was not happy with the check swing call, gets in an argument, and he's tossed from the game. But see, that's not the part where everyone's, reacting to. It's this next part where he's walking off the field. The manager's then going to go back and check out what's going on or go to the mound. And while Lopez is walking off the field, he chucks his glove into the stands and walks off. That is the part where it started the whole issue here with Jorge Lopez. And you can tell there's a lot of frustration. And when you're losing games, it's magnified, right? And the Mets are a disaster. Their payroll is extremely high. They're not meeting any expectations over the last 2 years. And clearly there's a lot of frustration. And then where a lot of controversy then happened was the post-game remarks, which we're going to dive into how strong media can be when they're trying to quote someone. And I want you guys to keep this in mind before we play it. Jorge Lopez's first language is not English. Mm-hmm. So when this was reported and tweeted out last night, we'll let you guys listen to it, and we will give you the answer of what was actually said after the video.
Carlos Mendoza said that he understands the emotion, but that particular action of throwing your glove into the stands was unacceptable. Looking back on it, do you regret doing that?
No, I don't regret it. I think I've been looking the worst teammate probably in the whole MLB. So, whatever happened. So, whatever they want to do it. I'll be tomorrow here if they want me, whatever they want to do. So I'm gonna keep doing this thing, So I'm healthy on whatever, on whatever to do. I'm ready to come back tomorrow, and if they want me to be here, so I'll be here.
So here's the thing. What was at least talked about, because we talked about this a little bit on the live stream last night. And I even said, because the quotes that were coming out, I had a chance to watch it, was that he was saying that he was on the worst fucking team. Yeah. And that then it was commenting on like the worst teammates and worst team, right? That was the conversation. And I initially said, if that's what he said, that's a bigger problem with the guys in the locker room, right? Because that feels like you're attacking the team and it's a me issue, not a we. But when you sit there and listen more to it and you understand, we even talked about it too. Jorge Lopez is such a great guy. He has a lot of things going on personally. For those that didn't follow the journey here with his own family and his child, there's a lot of uncertainty there with trying with health concerns, transplant concerns that in this case right now, and this is from, I believe, with
this is talking about Boomer.
This was Boomer Esiason's comments, because Boomer went after Jorge this morning when we're recording this. And according to Boomer, Jorge Lopez has bigger things than baseball on his mind. His son is ill and waiting for a transplant. These players are human and have problems, but we assume their life is perfect. Life got to him last night. He's human. So a couple things. First off, shows you there is more going on in someone's life than you want to know. And you want to try to be able to keep your business and your professional life separate, but that's the human element where it's hard to do that when things are very, very stressful and frustrating. But this is what we said last night, right? Like, because we didn't have all the answers. But one thing we did say with Jorge is he's a good guy. One moment should not define him. Now, let's talk about what did happen, because I think I agree. He came out and said this morning, it blew up in saying, I was just trying to say, I am the worst teammate. I am the actual worst teammate in Major League Baseball, and you guys blew this out of proportion. The one thing you can't deny, throwing the glove over the screen and the outburst was a problem. Like that to me is when you're looking at your job and what's happening. Teams have certain standards, and you can say whether it was rightly, it was justified to DFA him. That's up to you. But teams have standards and regulations where he was either going to be fined, suspended, or in this case, he was designated for assignment. But guys, I don't know who wants to go next. Brad, since you're up on the screen here, first off, we got to be careful before we talk on things, but it's a two-sided sword here where there's much more to the story, but two, there is consequences for the actions that happened on the field. I don't care about the necessary comments that happened in the clubhouse.
Yeah, I think, my initial knee-jerk reaction to this was kind of like, this reminded me of, and this by no means me comparing Jorge Lopez the person to Trevor Bauer the person, just the event. But when Trevor Bauer chucked the ball, over the fence, that moment kind of reminded me of that moment. And that, like, you're forever changed, your perception is forever changed of that player. And so, unfortunately, I think that this is kind of going to follow Jorge Lopez wherever he goes, in the same fashion of like Trevor Bauer chucking that ball over the fence. I think that's probably going to happen regardless of what's going on in his personal life. And I feel for him. It sucks to hear that, his child's waiting on a transplant, and I can't imagine what the distractions that can cause and what that can do to a person, especially with their emotions in a high stress environment, like, a professional baseball game. But at the same time, like you were saying, Ryan, from a professional standpoint, I think this is unfortunately going to follow him for a very long time.
Yeah, I think, well, here's the thing too. I will say that image of him throwing the glove is going to stay there. And also, I think what we're learning with the media standpoint is that, especially in New York, things are magnified. Like people say, it's bigger in New York. Well, no, it is. The storylines, the Mets are getting talked about so much because they play in New York. They're not a good team. They're not reaching expectations. They are paying a boatload of money for their payroll to just be one of the worst teams in all of baseball right now. So that's number one. And number two, because they are on a bigger market, you're going to see that get pushed out. And for Jorge Lopez, I think I think a lot's happened in the last 24 hours. I think it's fair to say, I think that Jorge's going to get another chance somewhere. I think a lot of teams, he's had a good year so far overall. And quite frankly, I think that teams are going to look at it more of being like, there was a lot of misunderstanding, but unfortunately, this whole thing could have been prevented, Zach.
Yeah, it sucks. And something we talked about last night, and you see so many reporters and specifically Baltimore reporters talking about today, is this is not the Jorge Lopez we know. Jorge was loved by teammates, loved by media. He was anyone you ask, he was the nicest guy in the Orioles clubhouse. And that's why last year, when he was DFA'd late in the year and he had an opportunity to come back to Baltimore, even though he wasn't eligible for the playoff roster, the Orioles were like, yeah, we'll take Jorge Lopez. He's a fan favorite. He's a clubhouse favorite. So it was just, in my mind, it was just one of those things where what people are saying, life got to him last night. The Mets are 10-25 in their last 35. He's dealing with stuff off the field. And then it just feels like, at times you can't do anything right. And you just saw the emotion. And Trevor May tweeted this out earlier today, talking about Jorge Lopez and the interview. And he was like, I recognize the look on his face. He's like, it's a tough spot to be as an athlete because you feel like everything's going wrong. And, you're just in that spot, that dark space. And like you said, Ryan, the glove throwing is one thing that will be remembered. It's hopefully as time goes on, we get away from this narrative that he was calling out his teammates, because I truly believe that's not, one, what he was doing, or his intentions, and two, that's not who he is.
Yeah, and that was the thing last night when we talked about it. And again, this is a great message for everyone, and it's even for myself. Like, hey, if you're not 100% sure, we haven't seen it, we don't want to jump to conclusions, right? But it is the case, if you do attack a team in that locker room, like a player goes after and says things, yeah, that you should be reprimanded and you're not going to fit in there. But that wasn't the case because we know Jorge Lopez. Like, the pieces didn't make sense to the puzzle. Yeah, is what we're getting at here. And for Kevin, at least as I move, the next question, I'll say to you, and then after your thought, we'll move on, is that with Jorge, baseball is supposed to be it's a job, but it's also a place, if things are going on outside of the field, your personal life, it's supposed to be your escape. But when you're the team, everything's going wrong, and the environment, I don't know the Mets environment, but it doesn't feel very stable. It feels more toxic than anything, because it just feels like nothing's going right. Maybe him also now getting out of New York could be the best thing for him. And Kevin, I think there's going to be a lot of teams that could really use him right now.
Yeah, there will be. We've talked about it. Jorge Lopez was not pitching badly from a baseball perspective. I think his ERA is hovering right around 3.5 right now. So those are fine numbers. Jorge Lopez, he's a good person who had a bad moment. And there was a lot that contributed to it. I mean, Ryan, Zach, Brad, you guys all talked about it. But we all have bad moments, right? We all have those moments of weakness, or whatever you want to call them. And we know with Jorge, him with his son, with his family, and how trying and taxing that has been. You mentioned it there, Ryan, where him being in New York, everything is magnified. I think that is the hardest market to be in when you're talking about media pressure, expectations, when there even are no expectations. I know the Mets have the payroll, and there were this season, and I think that has magnified it too. But when a team is losing and there's a bunch of pressure from everywhere, sometimes it comes to a head, comes to a boiling point. And I think everybody's been there in some way, shape, or form. There was a lot of confusion last night, I think, with what Jorge Lopez actually said. And I think there was even, a bunch of, he definitively said this, or he definitively said that. And we really didn't know. And I know that, there were clarifying questions and whatnot. But to me, even though he's, not going to be in New York anymore, I think he will latch on. But Ryan, you made a point about how it's probably, and Brad too, you mentioned how it's probably going to follow him for a long time. The image of the glove being thrown, him talking about the team and teammates and whatnot. I think when people see Jorge Lopez for a little bit, they're going to remember him for that, which I don't think is particularly fair based off of his track record. I mean, we saw a bunch of people. I mean, Melanie Newman last night put out, singing his praises about how good of a person he is. And that's not the Jorge Lopez that Baltimore or anybody's been, dealing with. This is a good person, but it was just a moment of weakness, I think, and that's okay.
Yeah, the job, and again, the job of what happens on the job shouldn't define you as a person. You got to look at the body of work. Jorge's body of work and the people around him, that's who he is. And I think, Brad, final point here, we're talking about the translator situation.
Yeah, I saw somebody in the comments. I think it was I just lost it, but it was Justin Berlin was saying something about how the club didn't provide him with the translator. But I thought it was interesting that when we talked about this off camera, that you had some insight on the translator conversation, and just kind of wanted you to clarify that for some of the fans who might not know.
Yeah, so I'll do it real quickly. It's they would like you to speak with a translator. It's not that you have to, right? Because you see a lot of players now, especially Latin players, that can speak English, and so they want to be able to do it, and they feel like they can do it on their own. Jorge Lopez, I think, is one of those guys that feels he can speak English, but that's not his first language, obviously. So he's going to have situations where it comes up. But I think that's something where in certain cases, that's why for the Orioles, we talked about it. That's why Santander always has a translator. That's why, even like the Otani having a translator. Well, that's a different situation.
That's a different translator story.
That's a different translator. But the point is they have them there because it's a security to just make sure none of this happens. So it's not a mandatory thing that they have to be there, but it's something I guarantee you moving forward, that's going to be talked about, that they're going to say, hey, we want a guy there no matter what when you're talking with a translator, because we don't want to have another story. And I know they say, oh, all press is good press. This isn't good press for anybody. It's not good press for Jorge Lopez. It's not good press for the New York Mets. And right now, and honestly, it even negatively impacts the Mets more of saying, like, things aren't together. And I think that is fair to say. This Mets team has probably been the most disappointing. You can argue they are the most disappointing team over the last 2 seasons.
Without a doubt.
So let's move on. And as we move on, Don,
I think we all, oh my God. Okay. Who's putting it up?
We're all doing it. Who's pushing it?
I'm not touching it.
Oh my God. He just did it. Okay. Someone else do it. Brian, do it.
I got it. Here we go.
Jesus Christ.
Took a lot. Don.
Thank you, Don.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And again, that all goes to help out us here on the channel. So we'd love for you all to be channel members. There should be a join button right next to the live stream here. As we keep moving on, guys, let's talk about another story. And it's not actually in the major leagues, but it's maybe coming to Major League Baseball soon. David Fletcher threw his first game as a pitcher. And for this, it's not him that he was like, man, he must be throwing 95. No, he is throwing some knuckleballs, Mickey Janis style. And of course, he struck out Jackson Holliday in the process. First off, knuckleballers, I could never hit him personally. Could never hit him. And if you throw a good knuckleball, that ball can go one way, the other, just drop down. It's crazy. But Fletcher, actually, correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, first outing, not too shabby.
Yeah, David Fletcher is the most interesting story in all of I will say
crazy.
In all of sports right now. So he was a utility fielder, mostly with the Anaheim Angels, LA Angels. So that's where he's known for mostly. And then just decides, hey, I'm going to try out being a knuckleball pitcher. But then to make it even crazier, and no one's talking about this, he is currently being investigated by the MLB for gambling.
Yeah.
So
What?
there's just so went with his time with the Angels, and of course everyone then's like Ipe and stuff. But yeah, during his time with the Angels, he used an illegal sports book, and he bet on sports, obviously not baseball. That was clarified, not baseball. But it's just crazy, like what's going on. Not only is he a former utility player turned knuckleballer, he's having success in the AAA, striking out the #1 prospect in baseball. But then he's also like dealing with this investigation. So just one of the wildest stories in sports right now.
Speaking of Ipe, I was just going to say to add context, speaking of Ipe, it was actually the same bookmaker that Ipe used. That's where the investigation. When I was doing research for this before the show, one of the wildest headlines I have ever seen. It's like that one that just keeps on going and going and going. It's Former utility man David Fletcher struck out top prospect Jackson Holliday in his first start as a knuckleball pitcher amid gambling investigation.
I love it. They covered all the bases.
Point after point after point after
All
point.
of
This is
them.
a crazy story.
Well,
It's wild.
I was gonna say that in regards to last night's game, I don't know how sustainable this actually is. Did you guys see the stat lines here? Of the 64 pitches that he threw during that game last night, now obviously it was working for him against the Tides, and the Tides have some pretty serious bats over there, as we all know. But of the 64 pitches, 52 of them was that knuckleball.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
I mean,
what,
like at
that's
some
what he's gonna
point,
have to do.
yeah, but I mean, at some point, they're just gonna, I don't know, figure out how to hit that, right? I mean, there's no way that you're just gonna
But
have
that's
90%.
That's the thing
they
with the
won't.
knuckleball. That's the thing is it's like you threw like R.A. Dickey threw the knuckleball 95% of the time, but it's either it's on or it's not on. And if it's on, even the catcher does. Like no one knows where that thing's going.
That's my point, right?
They have
Like,
to. They have to wear a almost like first baseman mitt behind home plate because that ball just keeps moving and dancing. Now the thing is, Brad, to your point of being like, how can you be successful with that? And Justin makes a comment. Tim Wakefield is smiling down. May he rest in peace. But Tim Wakefield was one of those guys where knuckleball, knuckleball, he really started to put that more on the map. Now, the problem with the knuckleball is, and Mickey Janis, my former teammate, you Oriole fans out there might have seen him come up to the big leagues, or apparently he's like a cheat code in MLB The Show, apparently.
Yeah,
So for Mickey, and you know what? I'm going to get Mickey's playing somewhere. He's playing, I think he's playing in the Mexican League. I'm going to go bother him. We're going to get him on the show. We're going to talk about knuckleballs because
we should.
The thing is, when you're really good at it, if you can control it, it's the hardest thing to hit. Like it really is, because if it can dance left, right, or down, that's the part that's hard as long as it's in the strike zone. But the problem is controlling it and then not throwing just a knuckleball that just doesn't move. A knuckleball that doesn't move is a meatball. Like it's like it's even more than batting practice fastball. But a good knuckleball, Brad, it's something that hitters don't see enough, and it moves so differently that we just don't know what's kind of going on. Yeah. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. We will talk a lot more about this. Kevin, we're not talking about that.
No, I know. I was going to say, when you stopped, I was going to simultaneously with you say, if you're new to the channel, welcome in. I knew you were going to do it, and I was debating doing it, but I didn't do it.
Yeah. Good kid. Very good kid. I saw someone say, was it Fato's fan that said, I thought Kyle Stowers was a pitcher. Stowers had a great arm. He could have pitched. I think that was Tyler Nevin on the Breaking Bats podcast was talking about how Stowers had a really good arm with deception, but he wanted to play every day. Don't blame him. Stowers did have some ability there to pitch, but I think it's starting to work out for him so far. Hopefully he keeps it going. And then I guess, guys, our last baseball topic, which kind of deals with the Orioles right here before we get into the factor crap. Yeah, pretty good game yesterday for the Orioles. Pretty good game for Gunnar Henderson. I think, Zach, do you know?
Yeah.
Do you have that one clip we could?
Yeah, you want to toss it up?
Yeah, let's throw it on the screen. Throw it on up there.
To begin, best thing I saw today. Red Sox Orioles, we're tied at ones. I had just told my young son that guy right there is the Orioles' best player. He said, "How do you know?" I said, "Son, he's the best player." And then he did this. Oh, that's a grand slam. Gunnar Henderson into the splash zone. Extras, Natty Bays, He's tied for the league lead with 18 home runs, in the Orioles, powered by that slam, get a 6-1 win over Boston.
Pretty good. So you hear I says that's the best player on the team, one of the best players in the league. How do you know? He's the best player.
He's the best player.
and right now for WAR, which is wins above replacement, fellas, Mr. Gunnar Henderson currently leads all of Major League Baseball with WAR. Am I losing my mind? Have I lost my mind since then?
No, you are not. He is currently 3.7.
3.7, and actually he's tied with Mookie Betts. And and Jacob Calvin Meyer put this on Twitter, and I'm trying to pull this tweet up here so we can show the list. And I have it present. Here we go. And whammy. So as you guys can see right here, Henderson at the top. Mookie Betts of the Dodgers is tied with him with 3.7. Then Bobby Witt Jr., Kyle Tucker. Is that Seth Lugo right there?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Seth Lugo, the pitcher for the Royals that no one probably knows about unless you follow the Royals. He's 5th, Ohtani 6th, Aaron Judge 7th, Soto 8th, Anderson of the Los Angeles Angels 9th, and Suarez of the Phillies 2.7 and 10th. So looking at this list, guys, we're talking about being he's the greatest player. Right now, Gunnar Henderson is playing like one of the great players, and we had this conversation that is it too early to start talking about with MVPs? And the answer is yes. But I don't think it's too early to realize that Gunnar Henderson is not, that maybe he should be in the MVP conversation. That's whatever. Gunnar Henderson's already one of the best players. He's already the MVP player, and we are in May, about to be in June. Is that fair to say? Does anyone disagree with that point?
No. It's unreal what Gunnar Henderson is doing at the age of 22. And you take into account his defense, his ability to, whenever the moment is biggest, he comes through in the clutch. Yesterday, bases loaded, 2 outs. It's a 1-1 game already. And in a time where the Orioles offense, we saw they only got one more run, and it was a solo home run from Ramon Arias. So Gunnar grand slam won them that game, it feels like. And it just feels like more times than not, when things aren't always going great for the offense, you're looking down the list and you're like, oh, well, we won that game because Gunnar went 3 for 4 with 6 RBIs. And it feels like every game, there are plays he makes that I don't react to anymore. And they are some of the greatest plays you'll ever see. But you watch it and you're like, oh, yeah, that's Gunnar Henderson. Of course he made that. But then you look back and you're like, no one should be making that play. But he does it every single night.
It's almost the Lamar effect, right? Where like literally,
beautifully put.
He goes and he does something crazy and it's like, okay, like cool. And all the other NFL fans are like, what? That's crazy. And all the Ravens fans are like, that's just a regular. That's just a regular day.
He breaks out of 3 sacks, to gain like 10 yards, and everyone's like, well, the greatest runs ever. And Ravens fans are like, yeah.
Well, that's it with Gunnar too, where Gunnar does it with his bad and with his defense. Like you just said, his defense has been there have been multiple plays this season where it's like that jaw dropping, crossbody throw where he comes up and gets a ball and throws the guy out, or makes a spectacular leaping catch. And you experience greatness so much, you sometimes become numb to it. And I think that it's important to not take that kind of stuff for granted. As you mentioned, I mean, he's 22 years old doing this stuff. And if he had gotten out in that situation with the bases loaded, I think the whole conversation would be up. There's more runners left in scoring position for the Orioles and all that conversation. But Gunnar's a guy that is going to be the face, or at least one of the faces of this franchise for a long time.
I mean, I already told you guys this. This was my prediction when Gunnar came up in 2022. And I actually went back and looked at some of my videos about just how ridiculous I sounded. It's funny when you go back and look at yourself as you try to work through it. I know, Kevin.
Never listen to my first episode of Locked on Ravens. Do not do it.
And guess what? We're all going to do that. Then we're going to go watch Brad's episode back to back. Get the popcorn. All right. But talking about Gunnar Henderson, I thought that Gunnar was going to be a Rookie of the Year, future MVP. And I remember I went on 105.7 The Fan, and I said in the beginning, I said, he has more upside than Adley. Like, I just think that he offensively all across the board, and they're like, whoa, like Adley's great. Initial hesitation. I was like, well, look, he's younger. And I've seen some things, but I've already told you that whole Soto Henderson feeling or expectation. But then what I saw him do last year, right when he started to get going in end of May, June, I changed my prediction that Gunnar was going to win an MVP in the first 5 years to the next 2. That's how strongly I felt with Gunnar. And right now, we're sitting here going, well, damn, that looks pretty realistic. You know, the crazy thing, I saw a comment saying, yes, Gunnar should get his average up, and then he would be really the no doubt MVP. Yeah, Gunnar's only hitting 258 right now. He still has an OPS of 938, OBP of 354. The crazy thing to me is that he's hitting 294 against lefties and 241 against righties. So imagine if he picks up hitting righties. Now, he's got 14 jacks versus righties. He has double the at-bats versus righties than he does lefties. But the point being, if he's having that success against lefty with an OPS north of 1,000, just imagine if he does, not if, when he does pick it up. But needless to say, guys, Gunnar Henderson, he's here, and there's a chance he might reach 50 bombs here in Baltimore, which would be some sight to see.
Can we just talk about how funny though that statement is? Because it's so true. What Ryan just said, when Gunnar picks it up, we're talking about when Gunnar picks it up, yet in the same conversation that we're talking about how he leads all of baseball in WAR.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't even scratched the surface of how good he can be. And it's incredible to watch.
Yeah. I mean, right now, guys, you might as well, I don't like to get ahead of myself. It's the what if. So many things can happen. If Gunnar Henderson stays healthy, he's a Hall of Famer. He's getting a statue out front. And I will make sure he doesn't leave the Baltimore Orioles. I will tackle him. I'll sit down and talk to Gunnar. We'll keep him here in the studio.
I have $3.
That helps, Kevin.
I have $3.
Thank you.
You know what?
My contribution.
I will
we'll
call
give him
Scott
the
Boras.
NBA Jam.
We will. Kevin, I was going to say we can have Kevin play Gunnar for him to stay,
Oh my
but
God.
then we're all fucked.
Gunnar-
No, I play Gunnar, but if Gunnar wins, he stays. That's easy money, guys. Come on.
That's no fun.
Why? He stays in Baltimore. That's fun.
That is fun. You know what's also fun? Corey joining the channel.
All right, thank you, Corey.
Corey.
Appreciate you,
There
Corey.
actually was a video put out on the members. I don't think we put it out on social media today. We have of Ryan and my very heated NBA Jam matchup, to which I was robbed by the NBA Jam gods, but I figured Ryan out. So
Oh, you did?
I did.
See how that turns out for you. It's a bold that's a bold strategy, Con. Let's see how that pays off. Kevin, what movie?
Dodgeball.
Good job, buddy.
I know movies.
Nice.
No, okay. That's a stretch here. And if you're new to the channel, though, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. Do this every Monday, Thursday, occasionally on Sundays, but we have live Orioles post games with Kevin and Zach. That's Kevin and Zach every night after an Orioles game. So check it out here on the channel. We also have this on the audio format. So it's on Spotify, Apple. Please rate and review. So again, we want you to be here to watch it. We think the video content brings everything together. But if you can and you're driving in your car and you are looking for more insight, laughter, agony, whatever it is, I think we could probably provide it all for you. Go check it out on the Spotify and Apple podcast. We'd greatly appreciate that. One thing, and I know actually, guys, I gotta do a hit here for 105.7 in about 7 minutes. So we're gonna do a little bit of a fire drill when Zach's gonna come up here.
Can I sit in your seat? I've never sat in that seat before. It's the only seat I have not sat in. The only seat I have.
Did
not
he
sat
really
in.
just mid-show? We talked about this pre-show, and then Kevin, did you just block out that conversation when we were deciding
wasn't
how we were
here.
going? You were sitting right there. This was.
I was
as
having
the
issues. I
countdown
was having
going.
issues with the headphones.
You guys might be the same person.
I think we've gotten that before, actually, Casey.
Yeah.
I think Casey, you are not the first person to say that.
No, me and Kevin. a
Although
little taller.
Zach's well, I mean, I'm taller than you. but, like,
Obviously,
Yeah, Kevin's
obviously,
taller than
Kevin's
me.
got the looks, and
Well, yeah. I mean, it's hard to. Look, that's the male body at peak performance.
even though we got to get Kevin on a boot camp program and work on that, working on getting some strength in that ass, Kevin, because that.
Wow, all right.
No, it's I looked over there and I'm
Why
like,
were
you know
looking?
what?
Where were you looking, and why were you looking?
Well, I was trying to get the camera set up, and as you can see, if
It
you look
was-
at the
it was
NBA
your
Jam,
It was
All
your
we
ass
could
that was looking at the camera, honestly.
yeah,
I was in a heated battle, and Ryan.
With the computer.
with the computer.
Yeah, all right.
So actually, we should do it for every game that you lose. You have to give me 200 squats with the kettlebell.
Ooh.
I think you made me do 30 one time, and I couldn't walk for
That's
like
rough.
3 days.
No, that was so funny when Kevin had to do the kettlebell, and then like we were leaving the
I
studio.
think
and
I still had my backpack on when I came in, and Ryan said, "Kevin, do 30 squats with the kettlebell."
he was trying to walk out of the studio, and he was like, under his breath, he was like, "I'm in so much pain."
Were you really?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, buddy.
I could not walk
The
buddy,
next day, I
for
think he-
3 or 4 days.
I was gonna
could
say, I
not
think
walk
the
right.
next day he messaged us and was like,
Yeah.
"I can't feel my legs."
I
Oh,
couldn't walk.
buddy. Oh, bud. I'm sorry.
So we're gonna get there, and actually, this is the first time Casey's the first person to call me Kevo since high school. That was my nickname. It was Kevo.
I thought it was Khaki Kev.
I also was one of the captains of DJ Club, and I had a DJ name.
What is
Oh
your
my
DJ name?
god.
Please stop.
No fucking way.
Okay, timeout.
What was it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, my initials were KO, so I was DJ Knockout. Not. Let me preface. This was not. I did not give this name to myself. One of my friends gave it to me, and I decided, yeah, that really was better than anything else.
Oh, sugar.
So,
You're
That's
a good
actually not
kid.
as bad as I thought it probably was going to be, but it's still
Thank you.
hilarious.
DJ knockout, bum bum bum. and then he plays straight Waka Flocka, and that's it because he doesn't know
actually have
any
it
other song.
On the
What?
board. There's a party horn on the board.
oh, really?
Oh,
This
come
is
out.
Oh,
There it is. DJ knockout. You got to pump it up. Oh, that's
Kevin,
good.
this is the greatest compliment you're ever gonna get.
wow, me and Gunnar. You know, I see it too. Thank you, Casey. Thank you.
Yeah, you're full of shit, Casey.
No, I'm with
we
it.
see
I'm
Kevin-
with it.
Kevin lead off for the
Of
Baltimore.
course you
Orioles.
are.
Kevin, what is Gunnar Henderson's walk-up song?
Oh, dude.
Uh-oh.
Everyone does it. Like everyone.
I haven't been. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, what is it?
That's on me.
What
The
is it?
Sweet Escape.
There.
Okay.
My bad. I couldn't.
Okay.
I couldn't think of it for a second.
Oh, we know. There's a lot of things you can't think of. Hashtag where is Kevin Stick? Hey guys, why don't we then? While I get ready for doing this, I got a couple minutes and I'll wait for the call. But I think you guys should dive into some Ravens because we do have a lot of Ravens, and I would love to talk about it. But we do have Locked On Kevin, who does cover the Ravens on Locked On Ravens. So we will have topics there that involved what? Nate Wiggins, Rashad Bateman, and the new stadium designs. Am I losing my mind?
Yeah, really exciting stuff, actually.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question and be honest. Are you excited about all of it? I think for everyone here, let us know. And actually, Brad, this maybe is a good time as we get ready to transition. You had a poll out. Can we talk about the poll real quickly?
I do have a poll, and I'm glad you're still here for this because today's poll was, what is your vice of choice when playing in Little League? Like when you're playing Little League baseball, softball, whatever. What was your vice of choice in Little League games? And it was sunflower seeds, double bubble,
Ooh.
peanuts, or if you were the soccer mom that brought the oranges, were you the one eating oranges?
There's one missing.
What is it for you?
Big League Chew.
Yeah,
Hey.
so I had to pick a gum, and I feel like double bubble was better than Big League Chew.
I think that you can just
I
say
mean, both are like just 45 seconds of flavor. Then it's like
the
nothing. but.
Big League Chew when you rip off the pack
Yeah, it's
and
just-
you're like, let me just get as much of the shredded in there at
Yeah.
one time. And then that's the experience, and it's over. Like, dang, let me rip open another
exactly.
freaking
Like, there was-
pack.
It
Yeah.
was the experience of Big League Chew, and everyone's like, man, he's got some Big League Chew. And like, you were just kind of flexing on everyone. Like, yeah, I got the Big League Chew today.
Yeah, sunflower seeds was more when I got older. Gum was when I was younger, and actually oranges for me was when I played soccer. Like,
Yeah.
that was really when I played soccer, to be
Mhm.
honest. Kevin, when you played t-ball, what did you eat?
I played baseball up until high school. I was injured for like most of it.
Oh gosh.
I was sunflower seeds when I was pretty young. Actually, I started eating sunflower seeds, and you got like the cheese flavor, the ranch flavor, the barbecue, the buffalo. Like I was all in on the flavors, but the original also was good. Bubble gum was fine. I've never known how to blow a bubble.
What?
So
Imagine. Oh, we have another Ryan Ripken show experiment on the study of Kevin Oestreicher.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't know. I feel like I'm
No.
not alone. I feel
Well,
like I'm
well,
not
no,
alone.
some
a lot of
people-
children, maybe.
Some people don't. I mean, it's not the easiest thing at times, Kevin,
Right.
but you still should be able to, bud.
I never could do it. I don't know why. I still can't do it.
It's okay, Kev. You're a good
Thank you.
kid.
But my answer is sunflower seeds.
Okay, Brad, what about you?
I was sunflower seeds too, the ranch ones in particular. My dad got me in on them when I was like really gone.
Hooked.
Sunflower seeds, yeah.
Yeah, I think I was just I like the black pepper and salt as I got older. I didn't like getting too sweet. Like actually like a low key one for me, and this is in pro ball because that's we just tried so many different seeds playing. The dill pickle for me actually was one that I started to
Ooh,
like.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
feeling it.
You would eat a pickle?
No, dill pickle flavored.
Oh, so I wasn't paying attention.
No shit, Kevin.
We
Because
just
I was thinking I was
dugout, and Ryan is just downing a dill pickle in between at bats.
Kevin, how many corn dogs would you eat when you played?
when Well, if they had a stick on it, I'd probably eat like one or two. No, I'm kidding.
And if the stick gets lost, where'd it go?
I'd have to look to my teammates. I don't know.
Okay,
But
well,
actually,
Oh, Jesus.
in not like that. An underrated vice of me when I played baseball, khakis,
Yeah, we know. Kevin used to wear khakis during practice.
and it worked.
Kevin-
By that I mean I got injured every year.
I was
Kevin-
gonna say, I was like, what?
you know, moving forward now, any activity, the Oklahoma drill, and I get in the call right now to go on age. Oklahoma
All right,
drill, whatever
get out
it
of my
is.
seat. Get out of my
You're not
seat.
taking the seat.
Get out
Zach-
of my seat. No one can stop me. I'll do the Oklahoma drill with Zach right now.
Well, one of you guys can figure it out.
Kevin, do you want to?
So while they're all moving around, the actual result of the poll here: sunflower
Kevin,
seeds
you wanna
came in
come sit down
48%,
with
double bubble 22, peanuts 25, oranges came in 6% because
This is.
who wants fruit in
He did
baseball?
I will tell you, Ryan did a horrible job of taking
The
these.
camera's
ear-
still on me, so I'm just gonna
Oh.
sit and wait.
What did he do? What did Ryan do?
Oh, that's mine. All right. Okay, here we go. Kevin, do you want to come over here now? Kevin,
Ryan
you
does
can-
not know how to wear those, by the way. At
No,
all.
he does not. Kevin, where did Kevin? Just sit.
He was
sit
the
in
one that
seat.
He wanted those earpieces so bad, and he still doesn't know how to wear them right.
Okay. I'm about to give. Hold up. I'm about to give Kevin a crash course on how to use the switcher. Okay. That's
Oh
you.
my God, this is content you're not getting anywhere else.
Yeah. Okay. Can you reach that?
I have to lean pretty far.
Yeah, well, Ryan's got a wingspan of about 7'2", so
Yeah, I don't have his wingspan.
I'm 3.
Okay, can you go lock Ryan out real quick?
Do what?
Can you lock him out?
I should.
he's
No,
got
I'm
a
kidding.
key.
Yeah.
No chance. No chance he took his key. All right, Kevin, try to switch it over to me.
Probably true too. Now Kevin doesn't know how to wear the earpieces
Yeah,
either.
there
All
we
right.
go. Yeah, why are you wearing my head in front of you? Don't try to do that. You tried to do this literally a few seconds. Yeah. Oh my God. What is?
Oh my God.
Sorry. Okay. Well, I figured this out. Zach, do you want to talk a bit about the stadium stuff for the Ravens?
Yeah. Yeah. Toss that over to me. Good shit, Kevin.
Look
Good
at that.
shit. All right. So,
Well done. Well done.
do we want?
Thank
Do
you.
we just want to play? Are we playing the video? Are we playing the video?
Yeah. So which one do you want to go with first?
Let's do Ravens renovations first. So, as a lot of you know, Baltimore and the Ravens and Orioles both signed extensions for their stadium lease, and part of that deal with the city was they got money to do a bunch of renovations, and the Ravens are already taking advantage of that in the offseason, doing a lot of cool things. So they posted a video earlier, yesterday? Was it?
Yeah.
Yesterday, going over how the renovations have gone and a little sneak peek if we want to play that right now.
There is a lot going on at the stadium. We are currently in progress with our 2024 projects. We are creating the gatehouse and rooftop bar, which is an awesome GA kind of fan experience where it's, think of your favorite beer hall. We're bringing that right here to Baltimore, to M&T Bank Stadium.
This looks so
And
sick.
we are currently in construction of the Black Wing, which is going to be the highest level of service in the entire NFL. Think of a 5-star hotel hospitality experience. We are doing a refresh of our current club level and suite corridors to really bring more of a modern contemporary feel to those spaces, giving it this, I am in a premium space. We've made some changes along the way so that we could think what our fans would want out of those experiences. We're also currently doing some work on the 2025 project, so some infrastructure work for our current service level clubs and suites, and some retail interventions, and even some work on that North Plaza that we are so excited about. I think fans have a lot to be excited about this upcoming year. Obviously, the play on the field has been phenomenal, and we're going to match that off the field, right? We have these 2024 projects that are coming online with the gatehouse and rooftop bar. That will give you this different feeling of how you experience a game day. So the goal of these projects was to be transformative. So I come into this building, I know, first of all, I'm in the Baltimore Ravens home, number one, and number two, I could experience something inside the building that maybe I'm used to experiencing tailgating outside. Now there's no competition between home and this building. There's a once in a lifetime experience here. We've got to work hand in hand with the Maryland Stadium Authority on reimagining the experience at the stadium, right? And we took not only fan feedback, but we have some great architects, great construction managers who are putting together and putting, I would say, their blood, sweat, and tears into the experience here, just like our players put the blood, sweat, and tears out there in the field. Guests coming into our stadium over the next 3 years will feel like they're in the Ravens' home and will feel like we cared about the experience.
All right. Initial reaction.
That's gotta be sick. And I do want to clarify, it's with the deals with the state of Maryland, not just Baltimore. So I am so hyped for this. I think it's going to be such an awesome experience. And we always talk about Camden Yards, of just about how beautiful it is. It's a stadium that changed baseball. What I think is the best stadium in baseball. And now the Ravens, especially with these additions, they are really going to start competing for some of the best atmospheres and just game day experiences in all of the NFL. So I just think that's so exciting as a Ravens fan to have this happening all right now.
Yeah, and I think too, they're moving the media box over from the middle of the field to the corner, which they're doing everything, but it's a bunch of luxury, which I think the stadium's been trying to figure out how it can get better, and I'm excited that they're doing it. So,
do we know what they're going to be doing with? So, Zach's been in the Ripken box. I've been in the Ripken box too. So, like, I'm curious. Do we know like what they're doing with like the boxes too, or what the suites themselves like? I would imagine if they're upgrading all that, they're going to be upgrading the boxes too.
I would think. I'm not. I don't think they haven't mentioned anything on any of like releases or videos that they're doing. Right, Zach? Have you seen anything?
No, I've not seen anything. Actually, something I wanted to point out was one of the first things that caught my attention was in the first floor of this building. There's one of those like circular, like there's a table inside a circle, and they had those in the renditions. So they're adding those too. I had never seen those before until it was randomly put downstairs like 2 months ago, and now the Ravens are adding them. So I guess that's like a new thing. It's supposed to like block out sound or something.
It does. Have you ever sat in one of them?
Yes, it's weird.
Oh my god, yeah, it takes the sound right out. You can't hear anything.
It like goes silent. It's weird, but for the like in a stadium, that's kind of like perfect.
Right. Yeah, I think it's cool. So that's supposed to be done by the time the season starts, right? Like everything is supposed to be done by the time the season starts.
Yeah, no, they have a 2025 project. So they have a 2024 that's going to be this season, and then there's a 2025 rendition or whatever.
Oh, okay. So it'll be spaced out over the course of the next 2 years. Okay, cool. Well, let's also get into OTAs. The Ravens wrapped up their second week of OTAs today. They had a nice little Topgolf off day team bonding yesterday. Isaiah Likely put a heck of a swing on the ball. And we got actually Nick Moore, friend of the show, was featured on that Ravens swings video. I don't think we have it, but his swing was looking good.
We do.
Oh, okay. Where there?
So there's Isaiah Likely taking a swing there. I'm not sure I'm a fan of Isaiah Likely's. Linderbaum's was a little bit interesting too. There's Charlie Kolar.
Club went back a little bit.
And then Scotty Washington. This one wasn't bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Tylen
Wallace's stance.
That is Ryan Ripken's stance here. So Rip is left-handed and has the most wicked slice you'll ever see. So he kind of lines up like this, and then you'll see the ball have, I don't know, a 50. It takes 50 yards out of the drive as he swings it. Yeah. So Marcus, baseball swing. Rip has not gotten rid of that baseball swing, which you can't have playing golf. The slice is ridiculous. I will say that Ryan plays the slice very well, so he's learned how to kind of just deal with it. But my God, does that thing slice like a motherfucker? This one also probably had that too. The next one is our boy Nick Moore here. So I've also gone golfing with Nick. Nick, out of all these guys so far, is the guy to beat. Nick is the golfer so far in this group. And you can take a look here. He crushes balls. Oh, yeah. Crushes balls. So Nick is a really good golfer. And this is obviously Trace Willing as well. But yeah, so yeah, Ryan and Nick and I, we had a golf benefit
Zay Flowers was.
Zay
oh
just
my
went.
God,
He just
yeah.
went.
Oh,
for
let me
it.
go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. Was
Well,
this
it's
one?
literally like a point.
He's
It's
like,
like-
he's like, boom, boom.
You just,
Oh,
yeah. It literally it barely catches it at the end, but yeah, he
Yeah.
does. He gives it the old college try. You gotta respect it.
Yeah. And so that's me. I am a lefty. So
Shout out to
although-
our boy Nick Moore.
yes, shout out Nick.
Best
Then
one on that video.
Oh, but I think Nick's he was confident in it too. He knew
Oh,
he
yeah.
knew what he was doing. Let's get into OTAs a little bit more though. Nate Wiggins is in the news for a couple of different reasons. We have a video of him doing an off-season workout. He was drafted because of his speed, or at least it's one of the main reasons he was drafted. And yeah, he can fly, but it's also the recovery speed that's impressive, the hip movement, which is impressive. Brad, I think we have the clip of the workout.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can see here that the speed is there, but the way that he's able to turn and run with the hip movement, his ability to stop in the ground and go there.
Speed's ridiculous.
Oh yeah. I mean, 4.26, 4.27.
Yeah.
I mean,
So explosive.
and I think also the big story of the day was his comments on Rashad Bateman that we have. If we want to play that video,
I don't have that pulled up.
Oh, I have it. I have it right here. If we want to.
no,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. Let's get it.
Probably Bateman. He's just shifty, a lot of quickness in the route. So.
You got the most fun guard.
Most fun? Probably Zay Flowers. Yeah.
What makes you say that? Why is Zay the most fun to cover?
Just because we messed and we met up in college, so like we both know how like we know we both fast, so it's just fun to compete.
It feels like Bateman has been hyped up over these past couple of weeks more than any other player, right? Zach, just it's incredible.
Yeah, it's tough. I feel like he's just the big story in kind of the Ravens this offseason. Obviously, they added Derrick Henry. You have all the new rookies to Nate Wiggins and stuff, but the Bateman extension, he was the discourse for a lot in Ravens kind of fan base as the fan base. And so to start the year in these OTAs, it feels like I won't say the attention's all on him, but you can feel people are really trying to like, hey, no, this guy is legit. You know, we've seen the tape over the years. We've seen hopefully Tez Walker's deep ball ability allows Rashad Bateman to work more shifty route runnings. As Nate Wiggins just pointed out, he's the toughest one to guard because of how shifty he is. So you use that in a shorter route tree and not making Rashad be your deep guy. And I think I hope, I mean, obviously you hope it as a Ravens fan, but you hope that this is genuinely the year where we see Rashad Bateman live up to that hype that a lot of people know he has.
And we know that, I mean, Baltimore's relying on him to be the guy at the number 2 spot. I mean, they brought even the guys they were bringing in, right? It's like bring in Josh Reynolds and Michael Gallup. And, those aren't players that are going to challenge Rashad Bateman for the number 2 job necessarily. It's about, okay, how can we complement both Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman? Going younger there is a bit of a risk, but the Ravens believe in Bateman. I mean, coaches, players, everybody's been talking about him. But the interesting part of this is we go back to 2022, and I've kind of brought this up, I think, a couple of times, where Bateman had an injury his rookie season, had to miss the first couple of games. I think it was like 6 games. And then he comes back, and the Ravens that offseason say, you're going to be our number 1 guy. There's no question about it. They didn't bring in any veterans. I think Sammy Watkins actually was the only guy. But then you bring in Devin Duvernay, and then you're like, okay, if Bateman goes down, this whole thing is a failure. And not only did Bateman go down, but Devin Duvernay, you lost your top 2 wide receivers. Deshaun Jackson comes in, and I think he was 35, 36 at the time. So it's interesting because you have Nelson Aguilar as a 3. That's a bit more of a steady veteran presence there. But I don't know, Zach, how big of a risk do you think it is?
I don't know. That's all I got.
Very, very riveting answer. Brad, do you have anything more than I don't know, or do you just think that it's it'll be what it'll be?
Same thing. I don't really know. It doesn't seem like it's all that breaking as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting though, because I feel like Isaiah Likely is going to be that guy who is who's going to be their jump ball wide receiver, quote
Well,
unquote.
yeah, that's what we
wide
talked about
receiver, right? You and I talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about that last show, like who was going to be that guy, because there's nobody really in the wide receiver room that you can kind of pinpoint will be that jump ball 50-50 type guy. And Isaiah Likely certainly could be for sure.
I was trying to get you to take the camera off of me because I saw Rip crawled across the entire floor.
I saw him over here at the end, and
is this where we just switch?
Yeah, no, see, look at that.
Oh, hey, there
this
you
is
go.
So nice set up for your height.
It's over. It's behind. Okay, thanks.
I'll set up his.
You know what the problem is here, Zach? You're gonna have to adjust his camera because
I
Ryan's
know.
way too tall.
Yeah, he can lean back there, right?
How are you doing?
I'm getting used to it. It is, I have a lot more appreciation for what you do now.
Oh, now you have appreciation.
Well, not that I didn't.
for me?
No, not that I didn't before. But I'm just saying.
Oh, Kevin, man, you want to talk the talk, buddy, but you can't walk the walk. So what did I miss?
We talked about the stadium, the renovations
Okay.
that they're doing, and then now we're getting into what Nate Wiggins had to say about Bateman, about him being the toughest cover
Okay.
in OTAs, and going off of we talked about Likely a little bit too. So
We did cover Nick Moore's golf swing,
Yes,
and
the
he
golf
was probably
swing.
the best one on that whole video.
Yeah, no, Nick's got a good golf swing. He keeps telling me like he plays these incredible rounds, Brad. But I was
He
telling him
does.
like, hey, buddy, though, when I was out there playing with you, could have had a little bit more out of you. Maybe we win the tournament. But
So there's an app that he and I are friends on, and now I
Uh-huh.
see him every time he goes to play at BCC, which he did twice this past week, and he doesn't do bad unless he's cheating on his scorecard.
he seems like a man of honor. He can definitely
Yeah.
swing it pretty well. It's all good.
So it's an app that it's a golf app. You put your scorecards in, or you tell people where
Yeah.
you're golfing.
Yeah. So anytime he checks in at a golf course, I know about it because I get a little notification that he's golfing. So he frequents the Baltimore Country Club a lot.
Wow,
Yeah, he's a big fan.
big fan.
Big fan.
Oh,
Yeah. So you guys covered all that. Is there any other Raven stuff that I missed? Or are we moving on?
Not that we've talked about. No.
Yeah, I think we're moving on. We'll go to Factor Crap.
Yeah.
What's next?
You want to factor crap it here, and then we can move back here, buddy?
Yeah. Let's.
Do you want me to lead this in?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's funny here
I
for
can
everyone
lead-
out there. If you want to do it, Brad, you can. You can do it if you are feeling froggy, feeling frisky.
Let's do it. All right. So Jeff Passan went on the Pat McAfee show. Was it today? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yes.
Went on the Pat McAfee show today, and they were talking about Paul Skenes. Paul Skenes is a fan favorite on the Pat McAfee show. Obviously, he's a Yinzer now, and Pat is as well. So they just gushing all over Paul Skenes, and for good reason. But look, Jeff Passan came on the show and said, if you could have anyone to throw to Game 7 of the World Series right now, who would it be? And in regards to Jeff Passan, he says he's in the conversation for sure. So factor crap, gentlemen. Paul Skenes is good enough to trust in Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah, that escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
it? Escalated real quickly. That's like, in the movie that I'm talking about, Zach, Brad, I know you know what I'm talking about. They're sitting there and there's that
Anchorman.
all-out brawl. Didn't want to say the title because the guy that's running the show right there has no idea.
I knew that they fought or that they fight. That's part of the movie I've seen. I just haven't seen the whole movie.
Name one part of that fight scene.
There are superpowers going on.
Who has the grenade?
Not Will Ferrell.
Okay.
Superpowers going on?
Yeah, there's all this like an airplane comes down, I think.
No,
and,
that's Anchorman 2.
Yeah,
We're
that's
done.
Anchorman too.
all right.
Because that's when the ghost shows up as well. Was Anchorman
Yes.
too.
I remember that. I
Mhm.
remember that.
Okay.
Brick had the grenade, by the way.
Not Will Ferrell.
No. Brick,
Okay.
where'd you get that grenade?
Okay, heel. So
Bring it back.
with Paul Skenes, talent wise, and how he can go out there and dominate lineups, yeah, he can definitely be in consideration. But also, it's going to be dictated on how things are going. He hasn't even gone through a season yet so far. It's impressive what he's been capable of doing here. But I think the bigger part is what's he going to do as these months go on? Because that's the biggest moment, of course, at playing in college. I'm sure you guys have any of the college stats or him looking at with LSU. He can handle a big moment, but this is actually maybe the argument for me. I'm not going to say it's crap, because if he's firing on all cylinders and he's feeling good, yeah, a guy that has that stuff, I'd throw him out there for the game. But I'm more curious, who's in your guys' top 5? If you're to say a guy's going out there, because I'll tell you one for sure, he's on the Baltimore Orioles.
Yep.
He just threw last night. Last night, technically.
Yeah.
Corbin Burns. I think Burns is in that top 5, hands down. No doubt about it. Zach, you have anybody else you'd throw into that list?
Well, obviously, I know he's not having the greatest year by his standards, but a guy like Zach Gallen has just been so good over the recent 2-3 years. Obviously, Corbin Burns. If we're taking 5, and I will be biased here, I think in the conversation right now, especially what he has done over the last year and a half, you have to, I would argue Kyle Bradish is in there. Just strictly off of the way that he has performed in big games. I think he's earned the right. Do I think he's top 5? Probably not, but I think he has the potential and has put the resume together to have an argument to be up there.
Yeah, I think to me, Burns is in this conversation 1,000%. To me, I see Justin saying Scooball is also
he's on fire.
Yeah, so I think he's in there for me too. I mean, I think Skenes is. I'm gonna agree with you, Ryan. I don't think it's like totally crap, but like there are other players that I'm like you put in your top 5 and you'd roll that guy out for Game 7.
And I think here's another element of it too. There are just guys that have the biggest stones in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So like Aaron Nola on the Phillies.
Right.
I was going to say Zach Wheeler, but
Zach Wheeler on Zach Wheeler might be a better example of the past, but Aaron Nola, his numbers were pretty solid, but he was known for being a guy that could pitch in the postseason. Zach Wheeler, a guy that obviously has proven overall, but is a guy in the postseason. I think that's another factor. There's just guys that can handle that moment extremely well, and that's just the part of it. Go ahead.
And that's why I want to argue that Paul Skenes is in the top 5. And it's because, and I'm going to use, obviously, this is against college level talent. So this is not against the best of the best. But last year, we kind of got this, I would say the most hyped up pitching matchup in all of college baseball. Rhett Lauder versus Paul Skenes in the College World Series. Rhett Lauder was drafted in the first round by the Cincinnati Reds. You probably know him from his wild hair at Wake Forest. But Rhett Lauder and Paul Skenes went up against each other, and literally going into the game, everyone knew, okay, this is most likely going to be 2 shutouts. It's which pitcher can outlast the other. And that's exactly what happened, both through scoreless games. Rhett Lauder went 7 innings scoreless, 6 Ks, no earned runs, but LSU won because Paul Skenes gave them 8 innings, 9 strikeouts, no earned runs. And when the moment was biggest, Paul Skenes stepped up there against one of the best teams in the nation and shut them down against his, I guess, the counterpart, who was the second best pitcher in the nation last year. So big moment. Paul Skenes has proven, to me at least, he deserves to be in this conversation.
I think
it's crap.
It's crap.
It's crap.
Would you like to elaborate?
Here's why.
Okay.
It's too early to call. I can change my opinion. This opinion is fluid because it is too early. It's crap because there is so many other good pitchers out there that I would make the argument I would much rather have in a World Series, let alone Game 7. We haven't even talked about Seth Lugo other than the fact that he plays for the Kansas City Royals earlier in the show. Leads the league in just about everything. His ERA is 1.72 and 78 innings this year. He's had 12 starts, 9-1. Batting average against is 211. This guy's going in the World Series hands down, without question. And then, honestly, who the other guy that I would probably put in there has got tons of experience right now that has actually kind of had a bit of a revival is Chris Sale.
Yeah,
Chris Sale's had ERA at 2.12, 8-1 this year. I mean, he's lights out. The batting average against is 193. So, look, I mean, Paul Skenes, a phenom. I think that he's going to be something special. But to sit here and be like, yeah, I'm going to trust him in Game 7. If Game 7 was happening tomorrow, there's a flurry of pitchers I'd probably rather have in there right now over Paul Skenes if it was tomorrow. But it's a long season. I could change my opinion later on down the road.
And so this is where this is like, and maybe it's not even like the fact or crap. It could be whatever, but it's really just it's objective here.
Yeah,
because we're talking about it's actually how you want to objectify it, not you, Brad, but anyone in general here. Is it you're talking about right at this moment, or are you talking about who you want in the moment? Because like Game 7, like Justin Verlander is a guy that still can pitch in big moments. Max Scherzer.
Jason, I know you can't see this on the phone. Jason just brought up a healthy Tyler Glasnow, and I agree.
A healthy Tyler Glass, like guys like this where you're like, damn, but it's not necessarily what they're doing at this moment. It's just like who's got the stones to pitch in the biggest moments here, Kev, and that's really where it all comes down to. You know, I'd probably throw in Ubaldo Jimenez in there as well, just to make sure everyone. I was going to see if Kevin was paying attention.
What you want to bring up all these bad memories for O's fans, right? You want to go down that path? That's a bold
all bad memories for O's fans. Well, look, hey, it's one moment it wasn't pretty. I'll still the top one of the top moments for O's fans that was brutal was the Jeffrey Mayer situation in New York with the Yanks. I think that's still number one. But my point being, jokes aside, it's what do you think it is? Is it the guys that are pitching well right now this year, or is it the workhorses that you've seen in the past?
I like what Brian just brought up, and I want to get your opinion on this because it goes with that kind of what you're saying, Ryan, of is it like the biggest postseason performance? Because if it's biggest postseason performer, it's hard not to pick Nathan Eovaldi.
Eovaldi shines in the postseason.
Like if you want a guy 2 times, he has been the dog in a World Series winning team. Just he goes out there, and when the lights are the brightest, Nathan Eovaldi's going to go get you a win.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's where it is. You can say, hey, guys are having great seasons. Lugo's having a great season. But again, when the moments later in the season and the pressure's on, the stress is there, and they need you, who do you really want? That's the thing is, Lugo's pitching great. Would you take Lugo over Eovaldi?
Lugo has never started in the playoffs. So he's pitched 2 innings, which is weird. He's had 3 appearances, 2 innings pitched.
Yeah, and like so that's
going to be a Cy Young winner this year. It's his award to lose.
Well, and it may very well me, but Scooball, maybe Corbin Burns continues to remind people he's pretty damn good. But like it's a long way to go. But this is the beauty of it. But the reason why we started Factor Crap here is to just we put it out there more. It's like, hey, to say top 5 that he's going in there. Passan said in the conversation. I think that is the fair thing to put. He should be in the conversation, but it's dictated about for Skenes what's going on with the team. Also, Jared Jones for them is a dog. That dude is nasty. That's for a different point. It just depends on what you need and what you think your team needs in the moment. Because you could argue last year with the Orioles, Kyle Gibson might have been a guy that needed to get the ball to start a game just because of experience. So everything, there's always perspective here, Kev. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get it?
I do.
Is that seat too high for you, buddy?
No, I'm
too low.
Actually, okay, this is not what we are talking about, but I just checked the AL Cy Young odds. Seth Lugo is 6th, and he's plus 1,500.
Who's ahead of him?
I take that bet all day long.
Yeah, that's kind of. I would think he's. Tariq Schoolball is plus 200. Corbin Burns plus 460. Luis Castillo plus 1,200. And then Cole Reagans, Tanner Houck, and Seth Lugo all are plus 1,500. That's I thought for sure Lugo would be higher.
I would be putting money on Lugo right now. At plus 1,500, that is nuts.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Oh, I'm actually going to make that bet, actually.
Yeah, I would.
I think I'm going to.
I think you should. That's crazy money right there.
Okay, I'm actually making the bet right now.
Hey, speaking of money and making some bets and having a good time here, I think it's a good time to talk about our friends and sponsors over at Hollywood Casino in Charlestown. Charlestown races in West Virginia. West Virginia. It's what, Brad, you said it took us an hour or so from Owings Mills, about an hour. 15 hour from Owings Mills, hour and a half. You're downtown here in Baltimore. We did a live show up there. We have a lot more that we're going to do up there in the future. Hopefully get there for a weekend, have some fun. maybe be involved with some horse racing, maybe teach Kevin how to get better on the table, even though the slots are on your own, but maybe on the blackjack table. As always, though, you got to be 21 or older. They did question Kevin if he was of the right age, but as we know, Kevin
very nicely.
Very nice. Well, it's endearing, Kevin. They just think you just look so youthful. But as always, gamble responsibly. So if you have a problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLER to be sure and safe. But the biggest thing that they have going on up there, if you got your pen plate card and you use it in West Virginia at Charlestown races, you get complimentary beverages the rest of the time there. That's their thing that they're running all the way, but you can't get that in DC, Maryland, or Virginia. Stop traffic. So if you like complimentary beverages and you're a pen play card member and you use your card up there, go ahead and meet us up there at the Charlestown races. And we'll let you guys know next time we're going there. I had some people that were disappointed we didn't tell them last time. And I am sorry. We will try to promote that more because we have a lot more things in the works with that group.
Quick update. Yes. I am now the proud owner of a Seth Lugo Cy Young Award ticket. So
congratulations. Congratulations.
Let's go, Seth.
Keep clapping, Ryan. Keep clapping. Yeah. Yeah. See how that works? See how that works?
I love you, Kevin. I love you so much.
Kevin, why don't we practice the Oklahoma drill right now?
Zach can talk on the seat, and then in the background it's just Ryan and I just
you just see Kevin's body fly across the room.
Yeah, that'd be good. You want me to switch now or you want to stay?
What are we doing next?
Well, we want to dive in a little bit of series preview. I think we haven't
done
that
series
yet
preview.
Yeah, I'm good. I feel tall right now.
You feel tall? You want to stay there?
I feel tall.
Little update on the Rays. Actually, they are responsible for Mason Miller's today. Mason Miller blew his first save of the season, and it was to the Tampa Bay Rays. So
you're telling me good pitchers can still give it up?
Yeah, gave up a solo shot to Jose Siri, who is just talk about a guy who he might be having down season when it's time to clutch up. Jose Siri is gonna. He also pimped the shit out of it. He's got so much swagger, but that's besides the point. Series preview, and actually, before we actually hop on our series preview, because I'm curious how Kevin's gonna be able to do this. Zach, I don't know how he's gonna be able to do this. Why don't we take a trip on our Adams Jeep as we make our road trip? The Rays are making it up to Baltimore here. Kevin doesn't even know what to do. Devin,
come on, Kev.
Devin.
First time.
Oh my God. What is going? Jeez.
Oh my God! What does the hanger do? Was that on the table?
Yes.
Yeah, I brought it. I brought it in because I had to change shirts. I had to tarps off for one shirt and tarp on for another meeting. So, but the Adams Jeep of Maryland that's up in Aberdeen. We ride the Jeep. Kevin rode the hanger there. That didn't sound right. But Adams Jeep of Maryland up in Aberdeen, Maryland. They got a special deal going right now. If you go up there, they have their Jeep celebration event that just happened over Memorial Day weekend. What else was it? As always, you get a pre-owned Jeep there. Vehicle. It doesn't have to be a Jeep vehicle. You go and buy from there and you tell them that you love the Ryan Ripken show. You think that Kevin will get rocked by Nick Moore, or that you just don't like Rocco. Hashtag always blame Rocco. Tell Chuck and Matt that we sent you there. They'll give you a $500 gas gift card to go with it. And while you're at it, you guys bring that $500 gas gift card to us because we wouldn't mind that either. So having said that, let's talk about the Rays and the Orioles here. So the Rays, it's not the typical Rays we've seen over the last couple of years, guys. They've been struggling in the sense of they're missing some of their talented players. McClanahan, obviously their ace is out. They traded away Glasnow. They are trying to figure out who they are. And usually they're a team that really produces well talent-wise. But they're trying to scratch and claw. And now they're coming to Baltimore. Yes, a little bit of heroics. You beat the A's. Now you're getting the Orioles here, which the Orioles last year down the stretch, guys, really did put it to Tampa Bay en route to stealing the division. The biggest thing right now, I think projected starters for the Orioles, if I'm not mistaken, Albert Suarez and Cole Irvin are going to be getting the starts for the Orioles.
And Kyle Bradish on Saturday.
The reason why I want to bring up those two guys is because guys that flip-flopping in the pen, starting, and that actually, personally, is an advantage for the Orioles that those two guys can do that. with their injuries, having guys that can flip-flop like that makes it a massive advantage. But for the Rays, like you talked about Jose Siri, they still got some players that can show up in big moments. And it's not like Tampa Bay hasn't played the Orioles a lot. They played them a ton. They're division rivals. They know the Orioles just as good as anybody.
Yeah, and I want to talk about a guy that the Orioles saw enough of over the past 2 years, but is off to arguably the worst start in all of Major League Baseball. Randy Arozarena.
Yeah.
So he's currently batting 159, has a 258 on base percentage, 8 home runs, 19 RBIs. But it's just a complete struggle for him. He's one of the worst qualified hitters in all baseball right now. But I want to caution Orioles fans. Randy Arozarena is one of those guys where when he just sees the Orioles, it seems like he turns into a different human. So don't let those stats fool you. Randy Arozarena is capable at any time to just completely take over a series, especially he's known to do it against the Orioles. So he's a guy that I'm super intrigued about this series.
Yeah, you're wondering how good how did you get this mic to work, by the way,
Hold
Kevin?
on, I got it.
I'm
good.
I'm a Matt. Wait, do that again.
We need to. Didn't you do an ad for Blue Chew?
My first ever ad for Locked On was Blue Chew.
Yes, but what I wanted to say here, you can fix it if you want. Is this how you treat your stick, Kevin?
Wow. I don't know where the corn dog stick went. So
You're a good kid. You're a good kid. Now that it's fixed here, we want to talk about how good Randy Arozarena has been against the Orioles. You guys want to take a guess of what his batting average is against Baltimore?
350.
Hey, good guess. 338. He's got 66 hits, 16 jacks, 43 RBIs, and 32 runs scored in 50 career games against Baltimore.
Wow.
I don't want that to happen. I don't want him to get hot against Baltimore, but to drive home Zach's point, Jack or Zach. Zach is Kevin. Kevin, Zach. Zach is Jack. Randy Arozarena is a guy that's a talented player. And look, the Rays, he's struggling. They're not going to get rid of him. It's not ideal, but you got to ride with some superstars and hope that they're going to be able to figure it out. For the Orioles, though, this is the start of the gauntlet month, guys.
Yep.
And and this series, when it's all said and done, the Orioles are going to be in June, and that off day is not going to come until they face the Yankees. In between the Phillies and the Yanks, I guess that's a nice scheduled off day for that one. But this is a big series to get your foot on the right track for what's going to be their most grueling month of the year.
Yeah, and AL East series, I mean, we know they're big, but Zach, what was the stat you read out on the stream? Was it last night or 2 nights? Yeah, last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Orioles in their last 18, last 18 series versus the AL East are 13-0-5. They have not lost a series against a team in the AL East, and I think over a year. I think it's like a year and a half.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, to me, I think too, you look at some of the team stats for the Rays and how they've been as a team this season. If you want to go to their hitting, I mean, they don't really hit for power at all. They're in the bottom part of the league in home runs. Average, it's not much better. So you're hoping that the pitching staff, particularly the bullpen, can be a little more consistent. We know the staff's been pretty consistent all year, the starters, but again, some consistency in the bullpen. But the Rays pitching, they do strike out a bunch of batters. They're actually in the top 6 in strikeouts, but in terms of walks, they don't really walk a ton of guys either. So I think that's good for them, but we know this Orioles offense, when they are on, they are on. So for me, if I'm talking about what I'm looking for in this series, hopefully it will be, again, like we've talked about on the post-game shows, consistency with runners in scoring position.
Mm-hmm.
You can rely on the long ball if you get guys on base, but you don't want to have 4 solo homers in a game, then lose the game 5-4. Bring in runs in a bunch of different ways. I think that's some of the things that I'm looking for. Ryan, Zach, Brad, do you have anything that you're looking for?
Yeah, I'd like to add on that, please. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tampa Bay. It's a unusual start for them, at least in the pitching department, like you said. 4.22 ERA, runs per game. That's what they're allowing. And that's not the Tampa standard, especially they're able to cycle it. They're like almost this group that they have their pitchers ready to go in AAA to come to the big leagues. And when I was playing back in 21, They had guys having better numbers in the big leagues than they did in AAA. They just knew their roles and how to handle the situations. It's not the same Tampa Bay team right now, but having said that here, and we're looking at the bullpen for Tampa, it's all across the board that they're in uncharted waters. Their bullpen, which is supposed to be strong, is still also kind of at the bottom of the barrel, which I give this context of it for everyone that gets frustrated with what's going on with the Orioles. Orioles are still one of the best teams ERA-wise. They're still in that top tier, which we can't forget about. Now, the one thing that's going to be tested, speaking of bullpens, for this month of June is going to be this bullpen. And I told people this before when they're saying, apparently I don't criticize. And I'm not going to be a critical guy like that. Just not how I roll. We will be objective. After this month, we're going to know a lot more about where this bullpen is going to stand, because how much are they going to get used? Are they going to be overused? Do people get through some tough situations? And knocking on wood, do the Orioles stay healthy enough to get through those situations? So you got to keep that in mind here, that despite what's happened so far, the Orioles are in a good position. That's why we wanted to give the context about the Rays. The Rays are trying to stay above water. The Red Sox trying to stay above water right now. The Orioles, it's can you maintain for this month, assess your team, and then strike when the iron's hot here when it gets towards the deadline. And
Kevin, you talked about manufacturing runs and runners in scoring position. So Tampa Bay is tied for 21st with about 4 teams right now so they're 21st in the league in opposing batting average with runners in scoring position. So they are prone to allowing guys to manufacture runs and give up runs that way. And the Orioles have to take advantage of that. That's something we've hounded on the Orioles for the past 3-4 weeks, and it's something that if they want to beat the Tampa Bay Rays, they're going to have to not rely on the long ball and go out there and actually manufacture runs like we saw them do in Boston or against
Hey, you know
Boston.
what, though? Don't look now, but the Rays are also 5th in the league in stolen bases. So I'm not sure what the stat is, and I should have looked this up, but it seems to me, and just as the eye test of the games that I've watched, that there's a lot of runners or a lot of stolen bases on Orioles pitchers this season. It seems somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. So Tampa Bay has played a lot of a small ball that's kind of gotten them to where they're at right now. Anybody want to take a guess as to how Tampa Bay plays on Fridays, by the way? Can't believe the MLB has this stat up.
Enlighten us.
They're 2nd in the league in batting average on Fridays.
Why?
275.
I love that. If you go on MLB's stats, I'm assuming that's where you are. The splits that you can do is actually insane. I'm looking right now. You can get on Tuesday, on Saturday, you can get how they play when the pitcher is between 91 and 105 pitches.
Yeah. I love it.
It's incredible.
So yeah, they're batting 275 on Fridays anyway. The Rays are.
Hey, quick question, because I know we're running out of time here. Because I gotta. Is Rocco still behind there?
Yes, as leader of the show, I will bring Rocco.
A lot has happened since you're not here. Kevin is now in the big seat.
I'm now the Ryan Ripken show overlord.
So you guys reset the frame of him sitting in the seat too. Looks very good on you, Kevin. Very nice.
Thank you.
Short Kings unite.
Yeah. Good kids all around. Well, I was going to say, Zach, do you have that Cedric Mullins thumbnail I could use so we could knock that out? Because guess where I'm going next? I got to go see that guy, Mr. Rocco DeSangro.
Oh, I was like, Cedric?
Well,
I was like, or what?
I was like, tell him to get over here. I was like, what? Yeah, I'm sending it in the chat.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, Scott. Thank you. City Connect jerseys tomorrow. I might go on, might take some under bets on tomorrow's game.
I don't know. I think Zach, are you going tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm not.
I think I'm going too.
Are you going?
Okay,
if you're going, I'm without a doubt going, Kevin.
I'm the condition.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure I'm going, but if you're going, there is no chance I'm missing you at the yard.
Here's the thing. If you guys go to a game, Can we get some form of content when you guys are out and about here? Can like
Well,
people
I
see?
haven't been to
I know,
a game
can-
since we
thank you.
started.
Yeah, can we see a
Since
Kevin in his
opening day.
natural habitat? Zach talks about being a puddle down there sometimes. We don't need to
I don't know if
necessarily
we
see
need-
that.
I don't need if we need Zach content.
I think
late in the
I think
games.
we need that. I think we need that.
We
we
absolutely need that.
We need some sort of content there. We need everyone's wondering what is Kevin Ostreicher like in the wild. We still don't know. We don't rock.
Have I not given you enough?
Can we, Kevin? Meet.
No,
me
we
at
know what you're
Pickles.
like
We're
at
doing
home.
we're doing tequila shots, Kevin. Meet me at Pickles by the 1057. Because
Are you doing pickles tomorrow?
No, Kevin, I'm leaving.
yeah,
So you'll be there.
Okay, I'll see you there.
Okay.
You're a good kid, Kevin. I am going to get this set up because then I got to go bother Rocco DeSangro. But we'll do the Cedric Mullins breakdown. Is there one other thing we want to talk about? Oh, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show.
do that.
As the leader of the show, Kevin, you should know better than to remind people to like and subscribe to the Ryan Ripken Show podcast. As we keep having this on the audio version, we have it on YouTube. We appreciate every one of our members as well.
Send 'em
And
down.
yeah, we might have to send you down, Kevin.
we're all about to play musical
I will
chairs right here.
will reject my option, and that's it.
You have
Hey.
a lot of options.
I
Yeah.
do.
We haven't used a single one of yours.
That's because I've been so good.
Hey, fun fact though, here, guys, before I set this up, Finding Nemo is 21 years old.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy. Are you not gonna sing with me, Kevin?
To
happy
ya.
birthday. Happy birthday.
birthday.
Oh,
Who sings that,
He
Kevin?
was not.
He has no idea that is. Zero idea. That was our Kevin Oki. Who sings it?
Yeah.
No, that's not what Kevin Oki
Yes,
is.
it is.
No, it's not.
And
No, it's not.
Even sang
No,
it. We even gave you the chorus.
Yeah, but we gave you
Yeah.
everything.
We literally gave
But-
you the chorus.
but Kevin Oki is if I can sing the song.
or
Not-
Ryan's about to reenact them right now.
let me put my poem in you, Kevin. That's what essentially what we're doing.
Yeah. Are you going to do another one right now, or
He's-
No,
he's-
what is the name of the song?
He's
Oh,
reenacting them
Happy
right now.
Birthday?
Bye. Put
By
the
who?
sunglasses back on.
Yeah. Put
Well-
the sunglasses back on. There's your hint. There's your hint, Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin. Kevin. Come
This
The
is
thing is, you just sang it like, yeah, like I know it happened.
well, I do. That's the point. Is if I can sing the song.
So we sang the song and you don't know shit.
but that's not. But that's not the point. The-
No,
the-
it is the point, Kevin.
No,
You
because I sang
complain,
this song.
Kevin,
The best is
Kevin,
it's also just blatantly in the chat at this point. And
I know.
well, I'm not gonna cheat. I'm not gonna cheat.
yeah, don't cheat, but you're
Yeah.
also full of shit. Hashtag where is Kevin? You're
Where's
too much
Kevin's
trying to
stick?
find your stick instead of realizing what music. I don't even know what to do with my glasses right now. I am so disappointed in
did you see how mad you got the man? Did you see how mad you got the man? He just threw his glasses.
Rocco, help me out here. What are we supposed to do with Kevin?
I don't know. I know what you were trying to do though, Rip, with the glasses on, but it really does give off John Lennon vibes when you do it. Like you look
Okay,
eerily
fine.
similar to John Lennon. So yeah, I know
He
who
has
that is.
song.
Do you think that he even knows who that is either?
No, there's no shot. I don't think he can
John
name
Lennon.
one song.
I know who John Lennon is.
I also I have to bring this up every time Kevin's struggling with this. Kevin's Discord name is Waka Flocka Boy.
Yeah.
With OI. B-O-I.
Actually, you want a quick story time, real quick?
Oh, God.
When Firefly was still a thing.
We might not have the Cedric Mullins breakdown, but that's all right.
No,
Go
this
ahead.
will be quick. I went to Firefly
It's actually lit.
in 2017, and Waka Flocka.
I'll take my glasses back now.
Waka Flocka performed, and there's a viral clip of him there. Have you seen the translator video where he thinks the translator is dancing instead of translating? I was the first one in the crowd to notice that, and I pointed it out.
That's
You were the first person to notice that.
That's
I was
so
the
great,
first person
Kevin.
to notice that
Kevin, that's so
How do you
that's
know
so
that?
great.
How you know you're the first person?
because I pointed it out, and then everybody else knew it too.
I just don't know what to say.
That shirt is legendary, by the way. That's probably one of my favorite.
Is that a Sandlot shirt?
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Okay.
I just can't believe, Kevin, after all these times you complained about I'm not getting the chorus, and then you got the chorus.
Well, the actual parameters of Kevin Oki is not if I can name the artist, if it's I can sing the song. So you're changing the rules. Rocco, the story ended like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah,
I paused and now I continue.
Do you know? So
Yeah. I just said it was the Sandlot.
okay.
I know that. Yeah. Classic movie, by the way. So,
Hey, Rocco, you missed it. Kevin hasn't seen the fight in the first Anchorman either.
I knew that there was.
He goes an airplane. Superpowers were used.
Were there not?
Everyone knows superpowers weren't a thing until Anchorman 2. First people to ever do it.
Every single day.
Kevin, you always do something that just never ceases to amaze me. Or disappoint. Disappoint's the right word.
It's because I'm too busy.
All right. I'm going to get this set up. You can keep talking, Kevin, but.
Oh, so should we switch? Because you have to get set up behind
I have to go. I got to be at the studio with Rocco about 24 minutes. This might be the quickest set HUD in the history.
There's no shot. Be at 7:30.
Well, when you're ready, you can come on.
You move at the pace of a snail. You're worse than me. 7:30. Brad, what's the over under? What are we setting it at for Rip to get here? I would say an hour.
It's over. No, I'm gonna go.
I'm getting set up.
Oh my God, Kevin! Kevin just attacked him.
7:30.
Kevin, do it again. You were out of camera. Oh my God!
What are you doing?
Kevin's about to just run down this whole thing. Go, Kev.
Please fall. Did he fall?
No. Why did he
the camera?
What was that like proving? Kevin just said that I'm the one in charge.
I'm gonna go get things set up here. I'm gonna let little Kevin sit down.
Kevin, sit in one of the seats so we can switch over and do Kevin's corner.
When I joined at the end, Brad. Great to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin. Congrats.
You've been in every seat this show.
Well, they said I needed to sit down so I could switch the camera.
Why must you wear those in-ear monitors worse than Rip? And that's saying something.
Yeah, it's
By the way, Rock, does Rip have to have in-ear monitors at work?
No, I'm the only one who can hear the director when we're doing it.
Oh, okay. So that
Rip he'll get on, and once he knows that the cameras are rolling, he starts doing some obscure, crazy
some bullshit
or saying, because he knows it's going to get clipped. He's a content machine, so he's just like, cameras on, snap of the fingers, he's doing his thing, and here we are.
Exactly.
Locked in. He's locked in.
Locked on.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we're still good for that?
You tell me, Kevin.
Oh, we're just making plans in the middle of the show.
This is what we always do.
Things you can count on. Kevin will do a locked on at 4:30 in the morning, and his hair will look the same as it does now than it will then.
I have I've mentioned my hair will not stay down.
It's a lie, Kevin. You just don't know how to do it right. You don't know how to fix your own hair.
I shower and I get everything.
You know why? Because you don't put anything in your hair. You put zero product in it.
That is true.
And you don't know how to use a hairdryer.
Yes, I don't know what. Okay. Rocco, what do you put in your hair?
The look on his face.
I put in holding gel, basically. It's let me see if I can find it.
Fuck.
You got it in studio. There you go.
Foreman cream. It's called.
See?
Yeah. Oh.
Medium hold, medium shine.
Yeah.
For a medium man.
You have a lot of shine on that, actually.
Do I? Thank you. It's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
You're okay. I know you get a lot of crap on this show, so.
Oh my God.
I'm here to actually. You know what I found out recently is that there is like bar shampoo.
Okay.
So not like liquid shampoo.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know. I just know that it's there.
Look, Joe, I know that you're trying to bust Rocco's balls, but in his defense, he does go on live television for a living. You got to have that shit on hand.
Yeah.
Like act like you've been there before, Joe.
Yeah,
they would not let me touch a TV segment with this hair.
No, you know why? They would, because they would tell you that you have to actually use hair product in your hair.
Giving off serious kind of alfalfa Little Rascals vibes with
That's
that.
exactly what it is.
But it's getting there.
No, it's not like up. It's like
I mean,
yeah.
Listen,
not up.
This is the guy that the people voted had the best hair on the show.
It was close though, wasn't it? Wasn't it like 1 or 2 votes, bro?
Yeah, but you still won.
I honestly, I would have given it to you. I don't have confidence in my hair. King of Gogus asked a question, Kevin, if you had to pick one team, Orioles or Ravens, what would you pick? You seem very passionate for the Ravens. Is this
serious?
Is this who I prefer or like who I think will win first? I mean,
he only says he's on Locked On Ravens every damn show.
I was gonna say, if you say anything,
I think
other
King
than
of
the
God
Ravens,
bullshit. I will pull. We have record of this.
Do you keep count? I don't think I do.
Oh yes, you do.
Maybe
montage together. If you put a Kevin montage, like Kevin Oestreicher highlights of Locked On Ravens.
Yep.
Hey, I'm on Locked On Ravens. I do Locked On Ravens.
That's my government name.
Rocco, what time's Locked On Ravens?
Early on, I did say the government name line a lot, but I don't really say that anymore.
Early on, what do you mean? Like as of last week?
No, I didn't say it last week, did I?
I would say within the last 3 weeks, you probably said government.
Yeah,
name.
that's fair. That is fair.
All right. There's a follow-up question, Kevin. If you could have only one to choose who you love more, who would it be?
I've just been more involved with the Ravens over the course of like my life, and starting off with I've covered the team for like 5 years straight now. So I'm getting into baseball now, but I don't know. It's a hard question because I grew up playing baseball, and like even though I was nowhere near the success that Ryan had or anybody, I was known for walking. Let's leave it at that. But like baseball's been a huge part of my life too. That's a really tough question. In terms of the actual teams, I love them both, so I'm not sure. Ryan's giving me a signal of endearment.
You just said a whole lot of words to say that you love both teams.
Can you guys hear me?
Nice question. So congratulations.
Can you hear me, Kevin?
Well done.
Well, we're good. They're grilling
Ryan
me.
bailed you out.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so. But okay, see you, Kevin. Mute.
Is there static?
Everyone can still hear me?
Yep.
Okay, right now I muted Kevin. Rocco, give me a thumbs up or a bark if you can hear me. Thumbs up. Appreciate you. Hey, everyone out there. Thank you very much for waiting and being patient. It's the last thing of the segment here, and then we're getting on out of here because I got to go bother Rocco. But one thing that I want to talk about, it's been a hot topic here, is Cedric Mullins having some struggles here. And I know that people are ready to say, hey, give someone else an opportunity, or what's wrong with Ced? He's not the same player. I think that people are wrong with that. I think Ced is really close to breaking through. He's had some really bad luck. And I'm going to explain to you why I think that we could see possibly Ced go back to that 2021 version of himself as we move later into the season. And it's really over these last week of games here where I saw some things that really made me excited about what Cedric's up to. All right. So right now, it's no secret. So at the moment here, we're looking at it. Cedi likes to drive a lot of balls this way, right? It's really just cut off. I mean, if we're going to even look at it, and we'll erase that. Look how many balls you can really categorize. If we're going right at this middle part of the plate, majority everything's here. A lot of balls are going over to the 4-hole here, or up the middle, right center, right? His home runs are being pulled down the line. I would love to see Cedric stay on the baseball a little bit more, and this is why I wanted to bring this up. His 2021 spray chart. And you're going to see in some videos why I am encouraged with what I'm seeing with Ced is because look at this. Yeah, power's over here, right? Power's all the way over here, which is incredible. But look at everything this way. And I know maybe the Reds overall better here, but if you can see this, look at all of the hits that are going over this part of the field. And that's something I think for Cedric, he gets back to doing that, which I've seen signs of that so far. We're going to see a Cedric Mullins that's coming out of his slump. And I'll show you some examples where I just think he's just had some really, really bad luck. So we'll erase this and let's keep moving on. Also glad I'm figuring out this board. This is neat. Brad, we have a breakthrough, by the way. All right, so here's the situation here. This is the other day when the Orioles put it on the Red Sox in Game 1. 4-0, 2-0 count here. Cedric's got to get a pitch away, off speed. And as we can see, it's a cutter, slider, whatever you want to consider it, right over the outside part of the plate. But you saw Cedric's graph from 2021 driving the baseball the other way. Well, guess what? Look at that ball go the other way. This is where you know that Ced can live and have success. And right there, he's hustling. He's in for a triple. That's what Cedric Mullins can bring to your team, right? Love to see it. Now, this is just some bad luck then, all right? Later in that game, he's feeling good. Cedric's going to get a pitch to drive, right? And we're going to see it. Pitches away, right over there. Said he's going to smoke this ball again to center, left center. Center fielder makes an unbelievable play. And you're sitting there going, damn, Ceddy's right there. Stay there, Ceddy. Stay there. Don't believe me? This is later in that game. That's his next at bat. All right? This is where I'm talking about the luck's just not there for Cedric, but the swing is. Cedric's going to hit this ball, and we're going to see it again. More middle away, right there. Off the pitcher. And look where this thing goes. All the way to first base. And Cedric's out. And he's going to throw up his hands. Like, what do I need to do? I'm hitting the ball hard. All these balls, by the way, are hit 95 and above, in that range of 95 to 105 for Cedric Mullins. So you're seeing this, and you're going, man, it's close. How about this against Brian Bayo? Again, pitch is going to be away. Oh, it's even further away. Move that. It's off the plate. And this is what I love with Ceddy. He's staying on the baseball longer. We talked about when you get a little bit too pool happy, the first movement comes on the baseball. Ced's staying on the baseball really well because that's a tough pitch to hit. It's a good pitch by Bayo off the plate. But Ceddy stays right on it. Smokes it. And again, unbelievable play. Great swing. And so what I'm trying to say here is the numbers don't always, the box score doesn't always show what's really happening. Cedric's having some swings, but you look at the box score and go, man, Cedric's 0 for again, or he only had one hit. And then sometimes just you miss things by just a hair. And in this case right here, if you guys watched it the other night, Cedric just missed hitting a home run down this right field line. And you're going, get out, ball. Get out. Oh, whammy. And you know what happens every time you hit a ball foul? You're getting out. It's a guaranteed. Foul ball home run, guaranteed out. But the swing that he has here on the next pitch, he still hits this ball 99 miles an hour. Pitch is going to end up right over here. 93. That grounder is 99 miles off the bat. And you can tell it's just this feeling of, man, I just can't buy a break. But I want to go back to this real quickly. And I know that Ceddy, in general, likes to pull the ball for hits. But if we can get back to that 21, this is why I was encouraged. In those at-bats, you saw Ceddy doing this. And that's ultimately going to help with the success. Luck's going to go Cedric Mullins' way at some point. It has to. Whether he's got to wash his uniform, do whatever superstition. Some of the guys know some of my superstitions I can't say on here, or I could. But if Cedric stays with it, it's all right there. Complete hitters use the whole part of the field. I'm cool with if his home runs are going to be all the way over here, right? Perfectly fine with that. But it's when, how can you get effective at bats in the other circumstances? Cedric Mullins is getting on point. Don't give up on Ceddy. I know it's been a rough stretch for him, but he's putting together really good swings. He's just on the wrong side of luck at this point in time. So that's all I got for this. And I think, honestly, we're going to wrap it up then. Is that okay? Kevin, what's up?
Hello. There's still, can you mute the other mic? We actually, the reason why the first Kevin's Corner was so crazy is because I didn't have anything to talk about, but Jorge Lopez put out 36 minutes ago a statement on his Instagram talking about his situation, and so I just wanted to read that before we left. Jorge Lopez put a statement on his Instagram saying, first and foremost, I apologize to my teammates, coaches, fans in the front office. I feel that I let them down yesterday, both on and off the field. I also want to clarify my post-game remarks because I had no intention of disparaging the New York Mets organization. During that interview, I spoke candidly about my frustrations with my personal performance and how I felt it made me the worst teammate in the entire league. Unfortunately, my efforts to address media in English created some confusion and generated headlines that do not reflect what I was trying to express. I wish the team the best and hope that God continues to give me strength and guidance in my personal and professional life. So that was his.
And I think that that's a good message here. It's a good message here because, again, we don't know what's happening. You can come back here, Zach. Come on back. It's okay.
It's like stepbrother.
It's okay. But in general here, Jorge Lopez has been through a lot, right? And for him, he understands, if you look at the body of work of who Jorge Lopez is, don't let one act of frustration define him. It doesn't define him. He understands it. It was a situation that got really blown out of proportion, something that had to be reprimanded, but the other stuff, eventually, the wording, the words after post-game, that's something to me that definitely got blown out of proportion. Kevin, do you want to sign off with the group? Did you feel out of place? Brad, he feels out of place here. Here he is. This is, should we cue the music, Brad? Should I cue it?
Yeah. This is a family photo right here.
Well, for all of us here at the Ryan Ripken Show, we appreciate you joining us here for another episode. It was a wild one. Kevin learned how to use the setup, and he still failed miserably. But we appreciate all of you. Hope you have a great weekend. Have a day, have a night, and we'll see you for another brand new edition of the Ryan Ripken Show.